Hi everyone, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today I'm going to discuss my thoughts on No Time to Die. I went to the cinema yesterday and watched it, and sort of had a overnight to sort of digest and think about the film, and I'm going to just sort of discuss my thoughts towards the sort of latter part of the review. I'm going to go into spoiler territory, so I'll let you know when that's coming up, so that if you haven't seen the film and you don't want to know any spoilers, you're kind of pre-warned that we're going to go into spoiler territory. Okay, so No Time to Die has been released in September 2021, and it runs for 2 hours and 43 minutes. Just a brief summary of the film. James Bond is enjoying a tranquil life in Jamaica after leaving active service. However, his peace is short-lived as his old CIA friend Felix Leiter shows up and asks for help. The mission to rescue a kidnapped scientist turns out to be far more treacherous than expected, leading Bond on a trail of a mysterious villain who's armed with a dangerous new technology. The director for this was Carey Joy Fukunaga, if I'm pronouncing that right. Do apologise if I've got it wrong. And returning as James Bond for the final time is Daniel Craig. We have Rami Malek from Bohemian Rhapsody, starring as Freddie Mercury, and in this he's the character of Safin. Lee Seydoux returns as Madeline Swan, Naomi Harris as Miss Moneypenny, Ralph Fiennes returning as M, and Ben Whishaw as the great character of Q. Okay, so what did I think of this film? Yes, I enjoyed it. Certainly a very long film, coming in at well, just shy of sort of 2 3/4 hours. It was nice to see a Bond film back on the big screen. Haven't been to the cinemas for a couple of years now, so it was really nice to see Bond back on the big screen, and wonderful to see the gun barrel sequence at the start of the film. My thoughts: I did and I didn't like the story. I think if you look at it from the point of view of a 5-film arc, I think it works very well. For me personally, the ending was something that very much surprised me. I don't know whether it was necessarily the right choice, but I can see why that story led to the way it did. I don't want to give any spoilers away at this present time. We got some wonderful characters in the film. I did like the character played by Ana de Armas. I thought she was fantastic. Sort of like a sort of agent in the field, shall we say. And yeah, I thought her character was great, and it's a shame that she didn't get some more screen time. It was nice to see obviously the returning cast members of M, Miss Moneypenny and Q, and really great to sort of see that continuity following through into this film, and obviously seeing the returning character of Daniel Craig as well. We also get introduced to a new character who is a 00 agent, and yeah, I thought she was very good. From me personally, I didn't feel she kind of added a lot to the film. She was just kind of there to support things, but it would have been nice maybe to sort of develop that character a bit more and sort of seen yeah, maybe a little bit of sort of what she was about, and for me it just felt like she was there kind of just to sort of be there as something in the background kind of thing. Yeah, she did support um, Bond in the film, but yeah, kind of a maybe a missed opportunity um, in my thoughts. Okay, so I've kind of given you my thoughts as to what I felt. I did like, as I say, I did enjoy the film. I didn't dislike it, but there were things that I thought, "Ooh, I'm not too sure about this." So I'm now going to go into spoiler territory. So if you don't want to watch any more of the video, you haven't seen the film, then I'd advise you to switch off now. Thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate you checking it out. Okay, so now on to spoilers. So, like I say, the agent that we're introduced to, she's only known as 007. Obviously, James Bond has retired from the service, and she's obviously taken on the code of 007. And to be honest, I don't remember actually her another name being given to this character at all. That's all she was known as. But I felt she definitely supported Bond in the film, certainly towards the end, and it was nice to see Madeline Swan come back into it. Now, obviously, she's kind of the key to all of this. Obviously, the film starts with Safin, um, her father. Obviously murdered his family, and he kind of wanted revenge, and obviously killed her mother. And yeah, it's sort of, obviously the film starts like that, and obviously if you've got this far, you know this anyway. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting start. I have to say, I didn't feel he was a great villain. He was there, and yeah, they kind of explained a little bit of his background and that, but I didn't feel he was a threat like sort of other villains I've done in the past. Again, maybe a missed opportunity for character development there. Um, but there we go. I guess the overall arc of it was a clever idea. Obviously, his sort of world domination, spreading this Herculesium, I think it was, um, into the world, destroying Spectre, literally in one foul swoop, which again, that sort of felt a little bit rushed and a little bit shoehorned in. And obviously, the demise of Blofeld, obviously with Bond touching him, and then him getting that, well, dying basically from those bots in the bloodstream. So yeah, that was a bit odd. I mean, there was some good sort of dialogue between the two, between Bond and Blofeld. But yeah, it did feel like he was kind of, sort of wiped out pretty quickly. Felt like Spectre was sort of in and out, sort of in this film, and on to the new villain. And again, I mean, they kind of sort of reference back to um, Vesper, and all the way along they've portrayed Bond in a very different way. I mean, from the original sort of films of the past, he's very much been a sort of dare I say, a sort of a womanizer, I suppose. He's never sort of been in sort of relationships. He's always gone from one woman to another, very much sort of a guarded sort of person, not really showing his feelings. And I think in this series of films, the Daniel Craig iteration of Bond, he's certainly shown a very much more human side of Bond. Very different probably to the way that Ian Fleming wrote the the character. But I guess what the filmmakers are trying to do is to kind of bring the character into modern times. Um, obviously, we back years ago, sort of women were sort of not sort of portrayed as strong characters in some of the films. I have to say, Pussy Galore in Goldfinger, she came across as a very strong character. So it's not necessarily, and um, the character of Tracy Bond in that film, she was a very strong character. And I think throughout the Bond films, we have had strong female characters, but they've also kind of portrayed females in some of the earlier films as damsels in distress kind of thing, which really in today's world, it's we're all equal, and it's very much sort of you know showing women as equal as men. So yeah, and obviously they've shown Bond kind of getting sort of falling in love with two characters within this franchise, which obviously within sort of Her Majesty's Secret Service, he obviously got married to Tracy and fell in love, and obviously, unfortunately, she died at the end of that film. Um, but but no, I mean, obviously, he falls in love with Madeline, and it's revealed obviously in the film that they've she's had a child, and obviously initially she says it's not his, and obviously as we go along we find out that it is. So yeah, kind of having James Bond as a father was quite a, oh wow, this is a huge sort of change of direction here. Very brave choice. Very brave choice. Um, and again, sort of going back to Her Majesty's Secret Service, they obviously had the theme tune of that in the film, and it was really nice. I mean, it's a wonderful soundtrack theme tune by Louis Armstrong. Always loved that, and it was really nice to sort of hear it blending in with the film. And I suppose there's a lot of they drew a lot from that film with Bond being in love, and yeah, that was really clever actually. And again, sort of we got to see the character of Felix Leiter again, played by the same actor, which was nice for that continuity. And unfortunately, he dies in the film. Again, that sort of shocked me a little bit because it was like, oh right, how come they're killing him off, sort of thing. But yeah. And obviously, the final part of the film, obviously, is the death of James Bond, which I was absolutely kind of shocked by. I really thought, wow, what? How can they do this? Such an iconic character, and they're kind of killing him off. What's happening here? But if you look at it from the point of view of just the story arc, the 5 films, I can kind of understand it in a way. It's certainly how the story goes, and obviously, he's got this thing in his system, which, if he touches anybody, so if he touched Madeline or his daughter, they would die. So he has to sacrifice himself. So yeah, it was certainly a big kind of shock moment. Sitting there in the cinema thinking, oh gosh, I never saw this coming. I did feel the character of Safin reminded me of Doctor No. I don't know whether that was what they were trying to get at. I did hear, I'm sure I heard him referred to as Doctor at some point, but I don't remember hearing sort of Doctor No actually being said. But yeah, I did feel maybe that's what that was, maybe they were trying to get at there, possibly. Sort of the world domination, and again bringing a character into it that was sort of hell bent on world domination, and you know, his ideas were sort of the right way to go, as it were, and that felt very much like sort of Bond of old. um yeah, yeah, so a brave choice. It was nice to see at the very end of the credits, obviously James Bond will return. So I'm guessing we will get a brand new character, well, person playing the character at some point in the future. Of course, the one thing with that now is I can't honestly see how they could continue with the supporting cast of M, Ralph Fiennes, Miss Moneypenny, and Q, the actors that play those parts, continuing really, because this kind of like they've wrapped up that kind of universe, I suppose. Um, so it's unlikely, I would have thought, that they would be able to use those actors again. They would have to completely recast everyone and kind of start from scratch again. Um, Another thing that I really liked was that you saw some portraits of Judi Dench, and I saw one of the previous M's, uh, the guy that was the M in Living Daylights and License to Kill. I forget the actor's name, but that was nice to see. Um, Sort of kind of nods to the past. Um, but it's a shame because I thought Ralph Fiennes was excellent as M, and Q as well, and Miss Moneypenny. The three of them, you know, worked really well, and it's wonderful to see the original sort of office with the padded door. I just hope that they continue with that in the next Bond that we get. I think it'll be a few years before we get a new iteration. Um, but um, but yeah, as I say, mixed thoughts on this one. I did enjoy it, but it did come as a bit of a shock as to what they did. But having thought about it, I can see why they've done it, and it's kind of taking a different spin on things, I suppose. Um, so so yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I say that was just my little sort of ramblings on my thoughts of the film No Time to Die. Hope you've enjoyed. If you've got this far, I appreciate it. As I say, gone into spoiler territory, but I'm sure many of you have already seen the film and you've got your own thoughts on this. Um, but um, but do appreciate everyone watching, and appreciate people giving the thumbs up to the video. Um, and Pop your comments down below and say you may not necessarily agree with what I've said here, and that's absolutely fine. We've all got our own opinions and that, but yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on what you think. So guys, thanks very much for watching the video. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye now.